Today the topic is Emerging New World Order, Lessons from COVID-19. And we are fortunate to have one of the notable speakers this evening. His name is Debo Mohanty. He is basically based in Delhi. He specializes in strategic affairs analyst and he has over 25 years of professional research experience. His expertise includes national and international security, military affairs and military industry political security risk analysis. As an independent analyst, he advises industrial entities, risk entities on Indian scenario. He writes frequently in the media and is quoted by national and international media. Today we are fortunate to have him with us. Debo Babu, I would request if you can start and take the podium.
Again, thank you, Sangram Babu. Am I audible enough?
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Yes. Thank you so much for inviting me to this August group of intellectuals, I understand. So it would be a pleasure and an honor for me to be a part of this deliberation. What I would suggest that I would straight away delve into the topic assigned to me by Shailendra Babu on the topic which is already known to all of us. The move, what I will do is I would like to present this in 3 phases. One is what is this pandemic and how it is affecting the world in a very general sense of the term. Second, how it has affected and how it is likely to affect the global world order, the global order in different aspects, be it economic relations, be it political relations, be it security relations, and be it touching the other dimensions, like, for example, the role. Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes, you
are audible. Yes, you are audible. Yes.
So what I have done is I have asked a few questions and I am trying to answer them. I will start with a basic assumption that because still we do not have available enough data, we are not able to determine the extent of this role of this pandemic in global order to start with. So in the absence of credible data, what we witness is a lot of misperceptions, lot of information-based misperception, and lots of anger which is building up. Anger is building up essentially against the origin of this pandemic called Corona. Now, because it has started from a place in Wuhan region of China, and it has spread across, which actually started spreading very, very fast in parts of Europe and then parts of Middle East, and then now crossed over to United States. It has got the popular imagination of the West in the first place, before it entered into the Indian scenario in a big way. Now, having said that, in the last few weeks' time, the trajectories of the spread of this virus and consequent efforts toward creating all the vaccines, preparing for different types of testing and trying to minimize the fallouts of this pandemic has actually put most of the Western countries on their toes. If you look at the number of deaths occurring in major European countries, starting with Italy, with France, with Germany, with Spain and others in UK, you can see that the pace of death has actually frightened these countries, which are otherwise very Western, very methodical, with robust institutions, but those institutions seem to be crumbling. Crumbling in the sense the institutions are very finding it very difficult to tackle the immediate fallout of this pandemic. Then you can see the problem of United States, how it is dealing with. And the number of deaths has already crossed so many thousands. I mean, if I'm not wrong, it has crossed 50,000. If you look at the number of deaths, number of affected persons all over the world, 1/3 is already there in the United States. So it is very, very badly affected. When a superpower affected very badly, it will obviously have significant implications on the global order. That's number one. Number two, the kind of anger which has actually been built up and is building up, it's likely to intensify further in coming times, will have severe implications on how other countries deal with China and how China on its own type deals with the world. So it's almost like a kind of a, not exactly a game, but a kind of a relationship with the world on the one hand and China on the other. Now, in this context, how it is going to influence different aspects of global relations and global power matrix is the point that I would like to highlight. Number one, I think there would be some realignment of forces at the very first place. When I say forces, means which country will align with whom, which country will be relegated to the background, what are the countries which are likely to bandwagon under one leadership or under a group of leadership, how will they behave? This is the question that we are asking. My answer, based on whatever data that I have already gathered, my answer appears to be it is too premature to see or to kind of gauge the deeper consequences of this. Although definitely it will re-alter some portions of international order. If it affects the international order, then probably it will be it needs to be calculated along those lines by all countries who are basically dealing with their own, safeguarding their own national security.
I think the voice is not clear. Hello.
No. Now it is mute. Means he is totally mute.
Acha. Somebody has to call him up, eh? Nahi?
There is a break. Means disconnection or network problem.
Tapas. Hello. Can you call him up? Debabu disconnect he just phone करूँ कारण से बोले जानी पर ना तिसे कही चलती है ना
आगे हम कॉल करते हैं ठीक है रिपोर्ट करते बैक करते हैं
Let's say Subhasis, who is controlling it? Subhasis control coach, who is controlling?
Sir, actually today I am not controlling, as Tapas is the organizer, as he only has the control power.
Okay. So
because it is a live event, so I do even when I'm an admin, I don't have a control.
Okay. Tapas re kon problem ichi ba seri kon तांकर तरफ रो कोन क्लिक हिच नले तापस तरफ रो कोन क्लिक हिच
कैंसिल तो आपसे इवेंट विल कंटिन्यू मूवमेंट देखो कोन पे मैं किसी और नहीं है कंटिन्यू
ये आउट है गले कुदे
और आप किसी कॉल देगी ना कोन
से आउट है गले की मीटिंग रूम जाने पर लेने की
सुभाषिस भाई
आज्ञा कहतु
ती आंकु टी कॉल करू से कोन गोटे सम पिक्चर जदे अनलेबल आसी छि तांकर टिके असुविधा होछि
देबें कि तो कॉल
हां
कर
अच्छा सुभाषिष भाई कितने हाउ मेनी आर कनेक्टेड केते लोग कनेक्टेड अछंती
एबे सेटा बैक एंड रो देखि हबो तापस ही देखि परिबे मु देखि परिबिनी
केमति देखिबी
आपण जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स को जिवे ना सेठी देखिबे केते एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेंट अछंती आ को माने बैक एंड रे कनेक्ट अछंती बैक एंड रे सलेन भाई अछंती सुकुमार भाई अछंती एनएन पंडा अछंती एमती हमें हिसाब कले पाखापाखी 8 रु 10 जन अछंती कनेक्टेड टोटल 1 2 4 5 6 7 8 9 रु 10 जन अछंती नहीं 6 जन जो माने 6 जन पैनल रे रहिबे बाकी जो माने बाहर अछंती ना
नहीं से बाहर केते अछंती पैनल रे तो हम देख परछु 5 जन हमें अछु एबे संग्राम भाई आउ आपण अछंती तापस भाई अछंती हमें 4-5 जन अछु
बाहर 1 2
कुमार सारा दिन सूर्य ना कुमार सारा सरेंद्र भाई
4-5 जन अछंती
बाहर 6 जन
ठीक
जो समस्त एक्सेस करी देखि परिबे
रेस्पॉन्ड तो हिमानी भाई शैलेंद्र भाई हां
मु ताको कॉल कर
सुभाषिष भाई आपण ताको फोन करो आगे
पायल मामा
Yeah, hello.
हेलो सुनि परछुंदी देव बाबू
आज्ञा
बाय मे बी डिस्कनेक्ट ही एतले टिके आजिरे
आज्ञा एटा कोन वाईफाई रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम की
हां मे बी नेटवर्किंग इज होइते पारे कारण आमे तो थिलु लाइन रे आई मीन
आपण आज्ञा मु आई कुड हियर ऑल ऑफ यू
अच्छा
I could hear all of you, I could see all of you, but I don't know why my thing vanished.
Anyway, you can start na. Hello.
I can start.
ठीक है.
Others are not coming. केवल आपण visible होचंती मो स्क्रीन रे.
वो स्क्रीन रे भी आपण खाली visible.
आज्ञा. So anyway, if everybody is able to hear, then can I resume?
हाँ please.
yes
आज्ञा
आपण टिके फोटो आउटे कैमरा टिके तळू करन आपण खाली मुंडटा आछि ऊपर
ना ठीक है
हां एबे पूरा क्लियर आसला
एबे क्लियर आसिला
आउ टिके तळू केला हो आउ टिके हां ठीक है और करो
आज्ञा
एबे करन भाई ठीक है एटा नेटवर्क इशू होते
आज्ञा so to continue from where I had left, there are 4 issues that I would like to highlight. The first one is the impact of COVID on global relations, in which I argue that although it is too early to predict which way it will move, but it is going to definitely be not a good game between countries, basically between powerful countries. On the one hand, we have the United States leading from the front. If we see the statements that are coming from United States and from the highest level office, we can see the kind of anger which is being reflected through United States, which is indirectly supported by many of the Anglo-Saxon countries, basically across the Europe. Europe has been very drastically and very miserably placed at the moment because they are facing all kinds of challenges. The kind of anger which is building up against China through the countries led by the Western powers is definitely going to have a very destabilizing impact on global politics. On the one hand, still countries are not it is too early to predict who will be in which side, but we do see some evidences of group building in global relations thanks to this pandemic. Now, what is happening in the other side? The other side is the China. Now, China can play both victim card as well as it can it can straight away dismiss the Western perceptions which is building up against it. Now, if China dismisses all these things, then China has to come to the global forum, play a bigger role than what it used to play. Like, for example, it is a veto-wielding power in United States Security Council. So it has the capacity to thwart a lot of decisions collectively taken by other countries against him. And possible supporter to China in this game could be the Russian Federation. Now, Russian Federation is equally poised. It is, at times it is friendly with the United States. At times it is very bad with the European countries. At times it shows conflicting signals. So Russia is playing a wait and watch game at the moment. What are the countries like India are doing? Now, India is also kind of playing a very wait and watch policy as far as global formations, global anger against Chinese are concerned. So my preliminary assessment about the possible realignment of forces and impacts of COVID on global power equations will be that there would be some kind of a realignment of forces. Now, there are countries which might support the United States. There are countries which might support China. Now, why I say this? If this goes to the World Forum, to the world stage, where there is a apparent visible differences of opinion between US on the one hand and China on the other, China can also gather some support from the countries which it has been able to help for quite a long time. Countries in Africa are critically dependent on China. Even countries in Europe, some of the countries in Europe, basically the eastern part of Europe, are critically dependent on China. China is holding hostage in terms of economy. China is holding hostage to many of the major powers. If you look at the kind of problems that the United States is highlighting related to Huawei, related to WTO issues, related to tax issues, related to trade issues. So it is a very complicated game at the moment. If you look at countries in the Middle East, some of them are also critically have very nuanced relationship with China. So in the ultimate analysis, again, I would emphasize, although it is too early to show, but there are signs that it may not be that easy for the Western powers led by United States to either to form a global coalition and start confronting China to bring him back to global order. That's the main point. Now, this global anger is building up. That is all fine. How it will impact the other side of global order? The other side of global order is essentially defined by globalization of ideas, globalization of economy, globalization of different types of exchange relationship between various countries. So in a way, if you look at for the last few years, there is a perception that the United States is looking inward, that America first. So those kind of perceptions are coming up for quite some time. Now, when the COVID comes, we are all talking about, even India, my own country, is also talking about self-reliance. Just yesterday, our Prime Minister said, we need to be self-reliant. Now, that is a very symbolic gesture which actually points to the other side of globalization. Now, this doesn't mean that our Prime Minister is not fathoming the nuances of globalization. Yes, we are part of globalization process, but there are certain ways in which we can increase our self-interest while detaching ourselves from certain nuances of globalization. Now, if that is happening, then again, I will come to the first point that there will be realignment of forces. Like, for example, India is a big market. Now, India is a big producer of things, also a big importer of things. So India will strategize accordingly as to who to be friendly with, who not to be friendly with, who to avoid, who to distance, all those things. Similarly, other countries are also doing that. Now that will have a very, very significant impact on global relationship. I will give you one example. When our Prime Minister, the government took a decision on the flow of FDI into the Indian economy from essentially from the Chinese reacted very, very badly. The simple reason being that the Chinese have actually increased a lot of investment and have taken a greater stake in Indian economy because they know that India is a big market for them. So this kind of give and take or conflicts within give and take will actually play out after when the COVID nuances of COVID gets into. I'll give you another example. It's not related to India, but it has a very interesting dimension. Now, countries like France and Germany are actually putting pressure on their own companies, including domestic companies and multinational companies emerging from German and other European states, that they will not be allowing the financial investment flow from those companies whose headquarters are registered in tax havens. Now, that's a very interesting point I would like to raise for the very simple reason that bulk of the nuances of financial transactions all over the world and the role of all these tax havens have been in discussion for quite some time. Now, why at this point of time, countries like France or certain countries of Europe are emphasizing on this? Now, if that happens, then it will also have a debilitating impact on other countries' relationship with those tax havens. So there could be, I do sense some kind of financial reforms taking place at the global level. At the technological level, the as we look at it, the technology level, the basic health sector and the agriculture.
There is some network issue with the Bhai, I think. There, phone. The phone भी कौन था? इधर और बता दो मीटिंग नहीं कौन? सुभाषिस भाई, देव भाई कॉल कर लो, देव भाई कॉल कर कौन पे हमारा आसनी नेटवर्क.
Again, we
lot of interruption. कंटिन्यू करंतु आपनर कनेक्शन प्रॉब्लम होची.
आज्ञा कोठू स्टार्ट करिवे?
आपण से जो जर्मन आउ फ्रांस कथा कहउतले.
आज्ञा Now, continuing from where I had left, now we are getting different types of signals from different countries related to impacts of possible impacts of COVID, when there is a global thinking process, not only as to how to face this epidemic challenges of this epidemic, and also how to realign and readjust various countries' policies by countries, which will have a impact. Again, got a second. Again, I'm audible now. Hello. Sorry, Tapas Babu ko phone astila. This is the second point in which I do emphasize that there are certain elements which are emerging, like in the financial sector, in the technology sector, in the pharmaceutical sector, which are already showing some destabilizing and some realignment signs, which will ultimately have a kind of a impact on our future course of global order. Third point, that there will be enablers and disruptors. Now, technology is something which will also enable things. Like, for example, in the field of technology, thanks to Corona, because most of the educational institutions, government offices in different parts of the countries are in lockdown stages, there is a very significant rise of certain technological tools which are emerging, which in the absence of physical proximity between countries, between individuals, it's being replaced through technological convergences. Now, for example, there are quite a few IT-based companies, both hardware and software, basically in the software sections. They are applying different applications for online courses and all that. On the business front, there are different multinationals which are also encouraging invention and applicable tool formation to enable them to work from home and all other criteria. So there would be significant level of improvement in the technology sector, which could compensate the otherwise destabilizing interactive process in the global order. So it could compensate up to a point. That's what is emerging. On the disruptive side, I will give you one example how there can be disruptions also. On the disruptive side, there are two actors whom I could see them emerging, although they are not. I mean, they have been existent and they have been playing some kind of havocs in different parts. One is cyber threats. Now, cyber threats is going to rise exponentially, because when the countries are inward looking and the countries are managing their own governance models, there will be a lot of efforts by the hackers to get into those systems and try to damage those systems to get some benefits. The other one is the role of non-state actors. In the non-state actors, primarily I include terror groups, socially violent groups, left-wing extremism. They are likely to be on the rise. One factor we have already seen in our own country is that while the global pandemic thing is happening and India is trying its level best to address this situation, at the same time there are indications of increase of cross-border terror activities. And our Honorable Defense Minister recently, Defense Minister and the Chief of Army Staff, they recently came out saying that we have already conducted exercises, we have already conducted operations along the lines of control to ward off and to target certain terror launch pads and terror activities. Now, when this is happening during pandemic, which suggests that the strategies of certain global terror organizations or active terror organizations, especially operating from Pakistani side, could scale up their operations. So although there is a a kind of a general assumption that we need to take care of our health, our education system. We need to bring back our economy from decelerating. At the same time, the security aspects cannot be neglected. That's one point, and this point is being emphasized not only by the Indian government, it is also being felt elsewhere as well. Now, if you have come across, there was a news emerging from UK that the intel sources suggest that in UK there are certain terror groups which are re-engaging themselves to plan different types of attacks during pandemic times. So such kind of examples do suggest that the disruptive forces will be equally engaged and try to take advantage of the possible fallouts of pandemic at the global level. So that is another point which I would like to highlight. Now, which are the factors which will influence the global order or disorder or semi-disorder, whatever kind of shape that is likely to take, will be influenced by 3-4 factors, major 3-4 factors. Again, I'll re-emphasize. One is the economic rearrangement, basically the financial rearrangement. Now, there are countries which are very, very dependent on services, basically led by the Western countries. And there are countries which are very, very dependent on their manufacturing basis and manufacturing activities. There are countries which are essentially their predominant term of economic engagement is agriculture, or there are countries which are very solely dependent on tourism, like for example Maldives, or countries in the West Indies, or a lot of countries in the Europe are also, get a lot of revenues from tourism. Now, because tourism is badly affected, it will have a debilitating impact on those countries. Even places in our own country, like for example Goa, could be seriously affected. Now, because in Goa, thankfully Goa has the other revenue model also, which is mining and all that. But the tourism sector, because it will be affected very badly for time to come, how the tourism sector readjusts to the new reality would be closely watched. In terms of, I have already mentioned about how technology will be adjusted and readjusted to new realities. The technological sector will play a very, very important role. It will have a lot of influence. Then apart from that, as I mentioned, pharmaceuticals, the production of essential items, the production of discretionary items may take a backseat for temporarily. But if the globe comes out of this pandemic in the next 1 or 2 years, then it may take a few more years to bring back most of the other activities, like discretionary activities, could come again. And that is pretty much there. I say it because we are basically countries like India. I'm now talking about India in relation to its relation to its global relations. Even if this pandemic continues for several months or maybe a couple of years, which will badly affect our economy, badly affect our social structure, our political structure, and all that, the basic nature of human beings in most of the emerging countries, which are actually being given all kinds of comfort level, their comfort level has grown. Now, all of a sudden, when you lock them down, the rebel human nature will take shape. Now, that will be manifested in different types of anger, which we are also witnessing in our own country, in different countries also. I will give you one example. It is not that the citizens are not able to realize the full extent of this pandemic, like a state like Iowa, a state like, what is that called, Omaha, where people have come out to protest that we would prefer death to this pandemic. We must come out of our houses. We must engage economically. Now there is a great debate going on in certain states of United States. Now these are very, very important but dangerous signs that people who are used to freedom, who are used to outward activities,
Again, there is this problem.
I think again there is some problem.
Yeah. Maybe from his side.
There are network problem within them. Him.
Debbabu, can you hear us? No. Yes. Debbabu, I think you have come again. You are on the top. You are comparing several states and how it is being done. You can start from there. Like in few states in US, you can start from there.
Yes, yes. I'm sorry. I think the culprit is my Wi-Fi. The culprit is my technology.
No. Please.
Yes. Coming back to if you look at, there are different countries. Like the example that I was giving, that of United States, several states there, the citizens don't realize, because they're so used to freedom, a certain clampdown on them is having a reactionary impact, and that is also visible in many of the European countries also. But if you extrapolate that into the Indian context, we are also having very interesting reactions. The first reaction which came out, which shocked me, was the reported suicide of about 9 or 10 people in Kerala, because they demanded that liquor shops should be opened. Right now, these are all deviational behavior. This deviational behavior, like for example, excesses on police. There are certain localities in which the police and health workers are being attacked, which actually means that there is a communication gap between the government and the citizens at large at the highest level. And there is, although largely people are very, very keen and very supportive and very love our Prime Minister, who has an excellent communication capacity. But at the end of the day, there are certain sections in sporadic places which people cannot fathom the finer nuances of this pandemic, which is pretty natural. How India deals with it, I think India has done extraordinarily well in managing the pandemic thus far, in every sphere of the term, in every sphere, be it counting, be it percentage of numbers of death, be it percentage of recovery, be it testing, all kinds, and be it different approaches and innovative methods applied to make people stay at home. Largely, India has been successful. If you compare our situation with United States, it is actually bizarre. In Europe, there are countries like Italy and Spain which were very badly affected, that had altogether a different impact on the psyche of their citizens, because they became so scared. They became so scared that many of them started praying because they lost faith in their government's abilities. Italy has the best healthcare ability infrastructure available, but look at the number of deaths there. Now, this is the Western side, in which we get, at least, even if it's not no information, but even if it is limited information, we can make out that which country is facing what kind of difficulties. But look at countries like China, North Korea, Russia, even to some extent Iran and some of the Middle East countries. No credible or definitive information is emerging from those countries. Now, in the absence of credible information, when we strategize our policies toward China, When I'm talking about we, I am talking about India. But when we are talking about at a global level, when we are dealing with the issue with the Chinese, although we have our information base and based on our whatever information is available, whatever we are trying to project is pitted vis-a-vis no information emerging from the Chinese side. So there is a communication gap between the rest of the world and China. Now that needs to be assessed. Now in that case, what happens that if the countries on the other side of China are base their opinion, base their perceptions and start not exactly bullying, but start telling the China to put its house in order, it can very well react very badly. Because China is not a small power. It has created its own powerful universe within itself. If you look at the Chinese model of technology, it is actually an insulating model of technology. China is not using any Western models. China has created its own parallel models. We have Google, they have Baidu. So in each and every format, they are insulating themselves from the larger global. Now, because they have the financial power to play a role in influencing the foreign policies of major countries, including the United States. The United States, although it realizes that a major stake in its kitty is the Chinese investment, so it would be very, very interesting to see how a US-led or a West-led coalition against China unfolds. I do not think it will be a simple game. I think it will be a very, very big, complicated, as well as dangerous game. How we, as Indians, how we fashion our policies toward the Chinese remains to be seen. The early indications, as I mentioned in my previous, just some time back, that we are very, very cautiously and very calculatedly moving away from China by boycotting their goods in some form or the other, by not allowing FPI and not allowing FDI from the Chinese side are pretty visible. What is not visible that we are also engaging with China because we have ordered medical equipments and masks and other things which have already arrived. So we have a carrot and stick kind of a policy toward China. The same may not be true vis-a-vis other countries. So that also is bringing us to a very, very complicated situation. And I am, to be very honest, I am in no position to even assess what kind of a situation are we leading to. But my hunch is that the world will not be same again. Although it may not be very, very different, but there would be certain incremental changes in the world approach toward major international institutions like United States, United Nations, like various international regimes like NPT, CTBT and others, different financial institutions like IMF, World Bank and others. So there would be alignment and realignment, rejuggling of ideas. Rejuggling will take place in most of the aspects in global order. Now, what are our options for India? Are we going to be dependent because we dependent on others? I'm going to give you 3-4 examples of our dependency. Now, even if we have a lot of efforts trying to through Make in India and other things, but still we are an arms import dependent country. Now, there is a big question mark about our ability to be self-reliant unless and until we put our house in order. Now, that calls for this is a subject which is close to my heart. I've been doing research on this. I think there are potential countries like Russia, like Israel, possibly United States. United States is altogether a very difficult customer for us, but we should need to re-nurture our relationship with these countries so that our supply chain in arms and ammunition should not falter. The second part is that we have shown certain capabilities in certain economic sectors like IT software, like pharmaceuticals, like agri-based production systems and all that, which we should actually gradually open up and actually take it to a global level, be a part of the global supply chain. The biggest challenge for us would be to keep our country together in socio-political, socio-economic, and socio-security terms. Now that's the biggest challenge. And I mean, personally, I feel, I could be wrong. Personally, I feel that if anybody other than the Prime Minister, I do not know what the scene would have been. Look at the way he has managed this thing. I learned one very important point, which is reflective of India's policies domestically as well as internationally, is that although he is being criticized for being too autocratic and depends on a centralized system, that centralized system is critically dependent on inputs from the masses. If you look at all the ministries, especially health and other ministries at the moment, are asking for suggestions from all public, and huge number of suggestions are going. Earlier on, what used to happen, the government used to call all these industry association or some unions or some banking sector for their suggestions.
I think again.
There are a lot of the network issues in JN working.
Discussion कर दियो, discussion question answer session करके we'll conclude.
असले. Again.
Yes, in fact, I will take less than a minute to conclude now, because I have already pointed out some of my, many of my arguments. As far as India is concerned, although we are waiting for a new world order to emerge, the basic contours of which we are not yet been able to fathom, but we have certain inherent strengths and challenges. Our strength is our democracy. Our strength is our governance system, and India being a major economic power, although it is doing very badly at the moment, doesn't mean that it will not be able to come out in time to come. India is going to play a very critical role in the global order scenes. What we actually need at the moment is to be very, very vigilant about implications, about possibilities of socio-cultural, socio-political, socio-security, socio-economic disorder coming into haunt us. Now, in terms of economy, we all know what is, but in terms of economy, if the government is prudent enough to devise certain policies, then bulk of these economic woes can very well be compensated, and we can go to the growth trajectory part again. What I am worried about is there are two things which I am worried about. One is the bad signs, the emerging signs of regrouping of terror groups, which can be added and abetted by different factors. And it won't be confined to parts of Jammu Kashmir only. It could be manifested in other sectors. So our security forces need to be very, very vigilant on that front. The other one is cyber threats. Again, in cyber threats, there will be a lot of non-state actors like terror groups and all that who try to play games. So our cyber threat mechanisms need to kind of we need to level up. For example, one thing that India is going against the application of Zoom application and other things do suggest that there are certain applications which can be destabilizing for our concern. So I think I will stay. I'll stop here, and if any question comes, then I'll definitely would like to answer with the best of my abilities. I hope I'm making some sense.
Absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely. You made so much of sense over last 45 minutes. It is a real pleasure to hear you at length on your expert field, and we are glad that we could able to gather that knowledge, and we'll carry it home that yes, this is the point which we have to look forward. Only before we leave it open to the questionnaire session, just on the lighter
आप म्यूट में हैं।
हेलो
संग्राम भाई अनम्यूट करिए यस
still it is not audible.
It is you need to unmute. संग्राम भाई आपण अनम्यूट करंतु।
हाँ संग्राम बाबूंकर म्यूट आसुची।
तापस otherwise call him on mobile. उनका unmute।
I think some network issue. संग्राम भाई अनम्यूट करंतु। संग्राम भाई अनम्यूट करंतु।
There is some problem from his side.
हाँ हमें देखि पारछु आगे से बोधे अनम्यूट करि पारि नांती।
अनम्यूट करो।
संग्राम भाई अनम्यूट करंतु। संग्राम भाई
No, he is done.
unmute.
Yes. Yeah. Now go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm extremely sorry. I think it was a wonderful talk. Rather, I would say from on behalf of the POV, on behalf of the Rashtriya Bodhi Manch, that it was a brilliant topic to be discussed. Only one question before I leave it open to the entire audience: that can ever India take a lead after, say, about COVID-19 is over, in terms of the world power, and that it can take a lead? In fact, the US should come after us. Can that be a possibility and chance?
Okay, but you want my answer now?
Or
Yes,
you
yes.
can give it
Let it
I
be
mean, whatever
interactive.
way you are comfortable.
Again, I think it should be. I mean, once you have raised this question, I think let me answer it. Very short point. You see, I mean, although I am a very optimistic person, and the way I see things emerging, I think India is still yet to deploy all its might at the global level. Be it economy, be it political arrangements, be it foreign relations, and be it technology. I'll give you the examples per se. One, the ability of, I mean, I'll just give you one example in this current COVID situation. The COVID situation, if you look at, the Prime Minister made a very interesting move by appealing to the young scientists to engage them in innovative approach to devise ways to build mechanisms, like, for example, for testing kits and surveillance applications and all that, to fight this. And the response has been extraordinarily great. I have a very kind of a perception. I'm very confident that a lot of innovations will take place, which will have global applications for the first time, which will actually have global applications of use of technology in fighting pandemics. If we are able to create some of these toolkits and other things comparatively cheaper than other countries, then it will have a big demand all over the world. Now you can imagine if the United States is asking us for hexachloroquine tablets, you can imagine if we build a credible testing kit, which will not only be exported to countries in Africa, but also to United States as well. So in a way, we need to unlock our potential in different fields. Now that field will actually be extended up to other fields, like in agriculture, like in manufacturing. Now, there is a possibility that if that happens, then it will be a golden opportunity for India to become a big global manufacturing power in no time, in just a few years' time. If the countries like Japan decide to bring out their operations from China, which will not be easy for countries from Europe and America, but certainly countries like Japan can withdraw because they have that wherewithal. Now, if India can take advantage of those situations, then in no time, India can play a big role. Now, these are all yet to be proved, but the thing on which it is already being proved, India's global leadership, which is already being proved, is the kind of statements that are coming from the highest level quarters of WHO, of other global financial institutions, including international regimes like United Nations, that India has done extremely well and India is capable of leading us. Now they are looking for ideas from India. Now that could be the starting point. That could be the biggest opportunity for India, and we must not waste it. I think although numerically we have not been able to show our strength, but there are areas in which India can really lead the world.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Yes, please.
One question that connected to this. We have seen in the history after the Second World War, there was Cold War, and it was a fight between two superpowers, that is USSR and USA. And similarly now the China has taken the place of USSR after the breakdown. And even if there will be a new world order after this COVID-19, then in this new world order, what will be the role of India? And whether the mistake we committed being the non-aligned, we are a part of non-alignment, and that's why maybe for us we have lost our image, lost our respect being a powerful country. When we look at the India, it is looked at as soft countries, not a very aggressive countries. Now I think our Prime Minister has got a decisive role. He always very clear in his approach. So now we have to take a stand, whether we have to be with the one part or we have to take a leading role in the country. So that is what we expect from you. What is your opinion? What is your thing that whether we have to take a very clear-cut decision to be with one group, or we have to again repeat the history of being the non-alignment and not to be a part of any of the group and to make a neutral role. So that is a big question so far as the strategic point is concerned for India today. So what is your opinion on that? Should we go for very clear approach, or again will be a very confusing state of mind being the non-alignment? I think again he's disconnected. He's again disconnected, I think.
Today is probably the day of technology. Technology overrides everything. I don't know.
He has come back again, I think. Did you listen?
Yes. I listened to your question, and then when you said he is again disconnected, I thought कि अभी सब कुछ बंद हो जाएगा till I reconnect. So I have not missed your question.
Yeah.
This is the question I would really love to answer. I have got 3 points to make, basically.
Yeah.
Number one, I do not see any semblance or any basic principle of non-alignment in our foreign policy anymore. I do not see it. Right. It is basically based on pragmatism, basically based on national interest, which were actually, we used to give them lip service when we are allowing non-alignment. When we are doing non-alignment as part of foreign policy because of variety of reasons, because of the current, the then conditions and all that, one may justify. But leave aside that, we are a new power now. The Indian power has already been visible and very, very well established now. Although India is not a permanent member with veto power at United Nations, but India's power matrix has grown manifold in the last, precisely in the last 6 years. I'll give you 2-3 examples. Number one, when Prime Minister Modi swearing in ceremony was happening in 2014, he invited all the SAARC countries. Yes. That's a very, very powerful gesture, right? When India wanted not to talk to Pakistan after the last few years, it has stuck to its word, despite getting immense diplomatic pressure from other countries. Countries which have been cultivated by Pakistan to impress India or to influence India to talk to us has not yet been effective, which means my country has stood on its ground. Number three, if you look at our foreign policy postures, now our Prime Minister used to be very, very criticized that that he is very less time he is spending in India and always on a foreign trip and all that. Now, if you look at the last few years, his foreign trips and his building personal equation with world leadership is now paying off. It's being visible now. It's visible in the sense United States is the last country who would be asking for a small malaria level tablet to a country like India. It can withhold foreign sales, but it is asking for help from India. That's the situation from which we have landed up. That's why I said that if we put all our positive points, there is no way that India's power will be stuck by anyone. We are on a growth trajectory in power matrix. It's very, very important to suggest. Now, I'll give you certain other examples as to why I'm saying so. If you look at, I will give you another example of how the carrot and stick policy with the Chinese are happening. Because for me, Pakistan it may be a problem, but Pakistan is a problem which can be managed by India. We are too big for them, but we may not be too big vis-a-vis the Chinese, with whom we will have to apply a carrot and stick policy. And look at the way our government has been dealing with the Chinese. You start from Doklam. If you look at the Doklam scenario and how it unfolded, you could see the way we handle the situation. Now, Doklam could not escalate into a major conflict thanks to diplomacy from both the sides. And the person who was instrumental in dealing with all the finer nuances is our foreign minister now. Look at how our Prime Minister chooses his team, right? He needed a pragmatic, operational diplomat to conduct foreign policy. So a lot of visible signs are taking up. Look at the way India is now. I mean, when the Americans said that you send us these medicines, what did the Prime Minister say? The Prime Minister said that first we will take care of our neighborhood, which means India has already been a good elder brother to most of the countries in South Asia, possibly except for Pakistan. And the Pakistan will be so isolated to such an extent that in time to come, it will have no choice, no strategic depth, no choice. Strategically, we have strangulated them after we ventured into to cross the LOC. So the choices are very little for the Pakistani side. So in the regional level, the Chinese, both the Chinese and the Americans know that India is on the ascendancy, and India is already an established regional power. Now, from regional to global, pandemic like Corona will actually establish India in the higher pedestal. Now, once we are there, then we need to behave as a big global power. We have to forgive some, but we don't need to forgive others. That kind of a policy is a dynamic policy which we need to adapt. So whenever it says we can be friendly with that country, at the same time we can have competition with that country, at the same time we can also manage conflictual relations with that country. And the biggest example before us are China and US. US is not at all a very friendly country. It's a country of which only means business. And look at how India is trying to handle them. We have enormous amount of difficulty in sourcing our weapons from them for the last 20 years. Look at the kind of problems that they create. Although at the same time they say that we are partners and all that. So it's all, and when it comes to business, then India, for the first time in its history, is actually moving away from ideologically and institution building approach to a pragmatic approach of give and take and pragmatic approach of business. That is the kind of things that I'm seeing for India, and I'm very confident that in time to come, India will be there. There is no doubt about it. I don't think, unless India commits some very stupid mistakes, I think it is almost there, and it will be there in no time. That's my assessment.
So, hello.
Again,
Any
yes.
question from public? Yeah.
Any questions? If Subhasis Babu, you can open the everyone, is it? Hello.
No, everyone can message us.
And if there is any questions, they can message or raise their hands.
In chat box,
and
you see,
Tapas can communicate the questions to the guest of the night.
Yeah, if they can message us, I will communicate.
If there is no questions, kindly give a vote of thanks and we can conclude. If there is a question, just put it across to the guest of the evening. Yeah, and where is Sarendra Bhai? Is he there? Hello? Sarendra Bhai is there? No.
I think he has not connected in this platform. Other platform he is connected.
I see. So actually, I am doing the job of an absentia. he has to actually take that lead. But as usual, and if there is no question, Tapas Bhai, you can start. And if everyone is Odia, we can do it in Odia. That is the best part to conclude any evening.
Yes, I fully agree.
Actually, now we are expecting some other audiences. So that is why I thought that maybe the topic is so we can. But otherwise, if everyone is Odia, Tapas Bhai, you can conclude in Odia. That is what we are looking for. Tapas Bhai, ଶୁଣି ପାରୁଛନ୍ତି?
ହଁ ଭାଇ ଶୁଣି ପାରୁଛୁ
ଶୁଣି ପାରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ ଯଦି କେହି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ନାହିଁ ତାହେଲେ ଭୋଟ ଅଫ୍ ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ୍ସ ଦେଇକି ଆମେ କନକ୍ଲୁଡ କରିପାରିବା।
Actually, ଗୋଟେ ମିନିଟ୍ ୱେଟ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ତାଙ୍କୁ ତ ଏବେ କହିଲି।
ହଁ ପ୍ଲିଜ ଟେକ୍ ୟୋର ଟାଇମ୍। ଆଇ ସୁକୁମାର ସାର୍ ନାହାନ୍ତି କି?
ସୁକୁମାର ସାର୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଅଦର ପ୍ଲାଟଫର୍ମ ଅଛନ୍ତି।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଠିକ ଅଛି।
ନହେଲେ ଫୋନ ରେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ନେଇ ନିଅ, ଫୋନ ରେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ନେଇ ପାରିବ ସୁକୁମାର ସାଙ୍ଗ ପାଖରୁ। You can connect him through phone also.
Other platform means what? I mean, in other group or this meeting?
No, there are two platforms. One is where we all are connected as a guest. Okay, we are speaker, but they are connected as an audience. There are two platforms.
No, now it can be opened up also. Subhasis Babu, hello. Subhasis Babu.
I think he has also put it muted also.
Tapas Bhai.
No,
Now
no,
the
that
guest
that
now
not possible. That not possible because the meeting has been arranged in such a way that the, someone will be on the panel and some will be on the external panel.
That's true. But for the question hour session, can we not open it?
Yes, but they
No.
can ask on chat box.
Oh.
Acha, anyway,
So
before we
Otherwise,
conclude,
lot of disturbance. Otherwise, lot of disturbance is happening on
Now
time.
this short-term disturbance is important for the long-term pressure.
Acha, Tapan bhai, before we conclude, Deva bhai, what is your stand that when do you expect Russia will go? If there is a division, European versus China, then what should be the role of Russia? Do you think that China, it will go with China, or it will definitely support to, or there will be any surprise that Russia may come together with USA? Is there any possibility like that? Do you think?
See, it is too difficult to say, but my hunch is if you look at Russia is the other side of the Cold War victim. It's the villain, right?
Yeah.
If United States is hero and Russia is villain, the villain will never forget the hero's heroics in the past.
Okay.
So it has got two choices. One, either it stay neutral, which it has the capacity to stay neutral and see the fun which way the Sino-American relationship is going, or it will be difficult for Russia to align with the United States on this front. So it may not exactly a visible or a direct participant or direct alignment with China, but it may think of giving tacit support to the Chinese if it hurts its own interest. Everything is based on national interest.
And that
And
role,
the Russians.
that role will be crucial. Role of Russia will be crucial.
The role of Russia will be very crucial.
Yeah.
And Russia, in its decision, will also see which way India is going.
Yeah.
Because please remember that even if the relationship with India is still robust, which it should have been more robust by now, but we have opened our basket to different possibilities in terms of arms buying. But still, Russia will see there are countries which are swing countries. Russia will see the swing countries which way they are moving, will adjust its strategy accordingly. And India is the biggest swing country available on earth now.
But what I feel, after the Second World War, there was a race for military superpower. But what I believe here, post COVID-19, the world order will be a superpower for economic superpower, because that's a game of economic race. It is. So there may be a strategically Cold War or to have a military power. Rather, people will try to have an economic superpower, because China, the way it is growing. Now there is a gap of only $5 billion, $5 trillion between USA and China. And after this debacle in USA, and there will be a huge gain of China and loss of USA, so that they may come to the parallel position or the similar way, similar platform. So that's a very critical situation. Yeah.
Yes.
And so as India position is there, we are though in the 5th position. But only this Japan and Germany is ahead of India at this point of view, so far as the GDP is concerned. And that is also marginally. We are having 3.21 and they are having 3.991 and 3.94. So German, if they are going to lose, then India may come to the 3rd or 4th position. That is there. Because as per the future forecasting of economy, that India and China will be the only 2 countries in the world order which will not be that much affected in comparison to Europe and other countries. So in that way, we have an advantage position now. So let's see, hope for the best, that what is going to happen now. After 2-3 months, picture will be clear there. Yeah. Over to Tapas.
ମୋ ପାଖରେ କିଛି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆସିନି ଏପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ, ଦେବାଇ ତ ବିଷୟରେ ତାଙ୍କ ନେଟୱାର୍କ ଇସ୍ୟୁ ବୋଧେ ହେଲା, ବ୍ୟାଡ୍ ନେଟୱାର୍କ କ୍ୱାଲିଟି।
तापस भाई
आज्ञा
तो ताले हमें
अपन
अगर
close करो।
परमिशन अच्छी
आज्ञा आज्ञा
वोट ऑफ थैंक्स दें कि वी कैन
हां अपन क्लोज करो
नहीं अपन करंतु किछि असुविधा नहीं आउ देव भाई गांधी देखा जाउ नाती
By living देखाओ living.
हां लीव कले बेले देखाउ छी
ने जेना भाई आज करंतु बोजो टाइम मु दाढ़ी पड़ी
जेना भाई करंतु
नहीं।
जेना भाई या मृत्युंजय भाई अछंत बोधे
हां मुझे
जे अछंती तपस्या अछंती जेल जने कंक्लूड कर दे
के
नहीं, मु आज
नहीं
दाढ़ी
आउ
पर-
सेकंडली बट कहां दे देव बाबू कहां दी
मृत्युंजय देबे आसी
आसी गले तो बस ठीक अछि
ठीक मृत्युंजय भाई अपन भोट उठान करंतु देबे भाई म्यूट अछंती अनम्यूट करन देबे मृत्युंजय भाई अनम्यूट करी अपन भोट उठान करंतु आडी कैमरा टिके तळु डाकंतु अपन फेस टा बोल देखाते जो लाइव रे
अपन हैंडसम फेस हम चीफ गेस्ट करो
आज्ञा मु आज्ञा मु फर्स्ट टाइम मो दाढ़ीटा बढ़ेली फर्स्ट टाइम
हां
आज्ञा
दाढ़ीटा को मु एथि पई बढ़ाई
इट्स ए गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी आ गया
एटा भल लागछि देबा एटा मोहनदास पाई बोले देखाउ छी मोहनदास पाई बोले लागछि दाढ़ी रे हला बढिया लागछि
देबे I have one question for you.
आज्ञा
In present situation, China has no goodwill for other country. So, what are the exporting the China to other country? Could India do this type of business? मतलब सेट कर सकता है कुछ?
हाँ
अभी जो चाइना एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा है, तो वो बिजनेस इंडिया लेकर एक्सपोर्ट कर सकता है दूसरा कंट्री, यूरोपियन कंट्री, ऑस्ट्रेलिया कंट्री?
I will answer that. It's a very interesting point which you have raised, and which actually needs amplification. I will give you one example of Europe-China relations. Now, bulk of the countries except for UK and France, bulk of the countries in Europe have practically been held hostage to Chinese economic power, and Chinese economic relations have defined their relationship. So if you look at when there is a question of India's nuclear issue comes up or any kind of international issue comes up, a lot of countries in Europe used to object to our stance and take China's support. They used to support China. Now those kind of embedded relationships have changed. Now those countries now realize that China's engagement with Europe is a double-edged sword for them. Who will they look at? The other alternative is India. If you look at India and
You are on mute. You are on mute.
the mute is happening automatically, I don't know. Am I audible now?
yes you are audible.
आपका मतलब
So I'm just giving you one example of the European Union's attitude toward China and toward India. They were exclusively and very much dependent on China as a market to send their products. For economic reasons, they used to, most of the European countries have their plants in China. The scenario is now fast changing because the European Union is the fastest and the largest victim of this. A virus which is possible, which has emerged from the Chinese. There is a perceptional battle going on within minds of several countries of European countries. Now they are looking at India as a possible destination, which India should seize that kind of an opportunity. That's number one. Number two, African relationship. I'm going by region by region. The African countries have been very, very critically dependent economically on Chinese economic largesse through different types of funding, through aid and all that, and through a lot of infrastructure and all that. Although they are not that badly affected in Corona times, but they will also be able to reassess their relationship with China, because when the world is moving against the China, when the tide is against the Chinese, The African countries will have no choice but to readjust their foreign policy options also. Look at the Southeast Asia, the Chinese periphery. The Chinese peripheral countries like Vietnam, like Malaysia, like Singapore and others, they used to be scared of China because of their own, because they used to be under tremendous influence, including Myanmar and others were under tremendous influence. That relationship is changing now. Look at the country like Australia, which has been extremely dependent on China because of deeper engagement with the Chinese. Look at the things which are happening in Australia. There are shopping malls in which the Chinese people who have been abused and all that. So they are showing their anger toward China also. The Australians have now opted or suggested for a global committee to look into and establish whether China is the culprit in this coronavirus situation or not, whether it is a chief culprit or not. Look at Australia under ordinary circumstances would not have raised its head against China, but it has already raised. So the global anger is growing, and certain countries, certain swing countries, powerful swing countries like India should take advantage of that. Look at the kind of influence that China has over Pakistan. Now, there was one news item which is circulating in social media that China has asked for human trials of the Pakistanis to be conducted by the Chinese scientists in Chinese labs. Now, tell me which country will allow their population or their people to be tested as rats and monkeys, right? So these things will certainly have repercussions in the national minds. Why is that happening? Because the Pakistanis have no choice. So India, if you look at it globally, India has a wonderful opportunity to bring European Union. That's the biggest target of ours in terms of technology, in terms of financial arrangements, in terms of agriculture, everything. Now, Europe it can be a big source for our prosperity if we use our cards well. I think India's relationship with EU needs a deeper examination at the moment. Post-COVID, India should use its diplomacy to win European Union. If that happens, then India can actually afford to ignore bulk of the other Western world. Like if India has access to German technology, it doesn't need the technology coming from Japan or coming from elsewhere. That kind of a jugglery needs to be done. So I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful of India's. I'm proud to be an Indian, but you know, sometimes we have reasons to be pessimistic. But if you look at the other side, we have actually done a great job. The last few years, we have been decisive. Never in our history have we been so decisive. We could go wrong. I mean, India's decision, any particular decision can go wrong. But the fact that it is taking a decision itself is sign of a decisiveness. If a decision is wrong, we can rectify it. We can do some course correction, soul searching and all that. But at least we are taking a decision. That's the sign of a great power.
नहीं एबे भी एक्चुअली देबाबू आपण जोटा कहउचंती हां बाहर कंट्री सब जहा भी होची वर्तमान से माने चाइनीज प्रति एते इंटरेस्ट नांदी से माने टुवर्ड्स इंडिया पे मूव करजंती किंतु हमर सेटा कॉन्फिडेंस आसुनी काहे कि ना इंडिया रा पॉलिटिक्स जति की जो स्पेस क्रिएट करिया पे इंडिया रा विल पावर अछि की मत लागुनी जेटा करि परिबे आपण देखंतु फॉर द एग्जांपल देखंतु नरेंद्र मोदी वर्तमान सेंट्रल लीडर से कोनसी कंपनी का आनी साला पर कोनसी स्टेट तक स्पेस मागिबो स्टेट दबनी 5 वर्ष पर्यंत तेणु आमे जोटा चाहूचे आमे सक्सेस हेई परिबनी एका हमर इंटरनली जदी जेब तो डेवलप ना करिबा आमे किछि सक्सेस हेई परिन कोनसी इंडस्ट्री आमे इंडिया रे डेवलप हेई परिबनी तापर आ गोटे कथा मु जते इंडस्ट्रियल सहित कथा हेची फॉरेन इंडस्ट्री मोर जति चिन्हा पड़चंदी से माने कहया कथा चाइनीज ली काहे करचंती आमे काहे को खोजिबा सेतळ छि तार प्रॉब्लम हबो सेति तापर आमे ताकू डाकिबा हमर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट चाइना रे जति ना हमर जति मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट सेति कॉस्ट से करिक सेल कर दउछ आपण देखंतु इलेक्ट्रिसिटी गोटे इंडस्ट्री लगेबो
तर केते 10% कि 20% इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल जाउची आपण देखंतु चाइनीज गले 1% होउची कारण जदि इंडिया गवर्नमेंट एगुडा सब असेस न करबो प्लस प्रॉपर कोऑर्डिनेशन न करबो स्टेट रे आपण कोनोसी कंट्री इंडिया को आसी परिबो नाही
आपण गोटे बढ़िया माने बहुत बढ़िया इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट गोटे कहले जो कि मु आपन सहित सहमत किंतु मु काहे कि ऑप्टिमिस्टिक होउची तार भी रीजन ता बतौची आपण देखंतु कोविड सिचुएशन जो हेची कोविड सिचुएशन मोर देन दी माने एटा जो भाइरस टा को हमें जो फाइट करूची इंडिया ताठू अधिका इंडिया फाइट करूची सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट फाइट करूची स्टेट गवर्नमेंट संगे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेस एंड ऑल दैट सेतरे देखंतु केते माने हमरो प्रॉब्लम होची नॉन बीजेपी रूल स्टेट्स रु किछिटा प्रॉब्लम्स आसुची लाइक स्टेट्स लाइक वेस्ट बंगाल एंड अदर्स हला तो एगुडा सब ए जो हमर जो फेडरल सिस्टम जोटा अछि अनफॉर्चूनेटली से सिस्टम रे हमर जो सेंट्रल स्कीम्स गुडा सेंट्रल पॉलिसीज गुडा जो इंप्लीमेंट होची बल्क ऑफ दोस इंप्लीमेंटेशन लाइज विथ द स्टेट्स
एग्जैक्टली
तो तेणु सेठी आपनकर पॉलिटिकल पावर प्लेटा आसुची जो पॉलिटिकल पावर प्लेटा आसुची सेटा नरेंद्र मोदींकर इट इज अ बिगेस्ट चैलेंज फॉर हिम टू हाउ टू ब्रिंग आपन जतले नरेंद्र मोदी जतले प्राइम मिनिस्टर हले से फर्स्ट तंकर येटा कोन कहले रिलेटेड टू नेशनल गवर्नेंस द फर्स्ट टर्म दैट ही यूज्ड वाज कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म ठीक अछि ता भीतर गुडाय प्रॉब्लम हबो रहिबो ये किंतु द गवर्नमेंट इज आल्सो रीडिफाइनिंग सेंटर एंड स्टेट रिलेशनशिप सेटा समय लागे आगे
मो कहे कथा जो सपोज आपण जो हिसाब रे इंटेलेक्चुअल अछंती सेमती प्रत्येक स्टेट रो जो माने इंटेलेक्चुअल अछंती ए माने वर्तमान गवर्नमेंट को एडवाइस दबा कथा जस्ट लाइक यू जो मानकर ए फील्ड रे नॉलेज अछि मास एकरी सिविल सोसाइटी जो गवर्नमेंट को देबे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को देबे किछि ना किछि स्पेस आपण माने क्रिएट करले जोटे कि फॉरेन कंट्री देखिबो से आसीबा पई वर्तमान से आसिला पर जो साइड मूवमेंट कला तो साइड मिलिबनी तेणु कथा हो ये जो इंटरेस्ट ना ये जो चैलेंज आपण कहउछन ना सेरा वर्ष 2 वर्ष भीतर रहइबो विद इन 1 or 2 hours इफ यू कैच इट्स ओके इफ यू कैन नॉट कैच दैट्स वी आर फेलियर माने ऐसा नहीं कि 10 वर्ष पर्यंत हम वेट करिया तो 6 मास वर्ष परे जे जो सेटलमेंट करिया कथा से करथिबे केना चाइनीज आपण देखंतु वर्तमान हेला परे चाइनीज भी केते फैसिलिटी दे ता भीतर से प्रोडक्शन स्टार्ट कर दोची सप्लाई करूची ये करूची तेणु सेगुडा मेजर चैलेंज आपण जो कहउचंती कोरोना खत्म परे 6 मास की वर्ष पर रहबो क्रेज से 6 मास वर्ष भीतर जदी इंडिया स्पेस क्रिएट न करिवो कि इंडिया जो माने इंटेलेक्चुअल अछंती जो माने कंट्री पई भलो भाबुचंती कंट्री फेवर अछन सेमान जदी फ्रंट को न आसीबे मते लागुची नरेंद्र मोदी ठीक अछि ता हिसाब से ठीक करची जे सब जे सक्सेस हो सेटा किछि ये नै तेणु वर्तमान सिविल सोसाइटी अछंती जो माने इंटेलेक्चुअली सेमान ग्रुपिज्म हेकि गवर्नमेंट को आसीबा कथा स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से फ्रंट रनर होबा कथा सेମିତି फ्रंट रनर न हेकि गवर्नमेंट ऊपर कले किछि रिजल्ट मिलबनी बोली माने मोर आशा
और संग्राम भाई कंक्लूड करंतु
संग्राम भाई जदी टॉक चालिवो कंटिन्यू चालिवो अपन कंक्लूड करंतु नाले जेनावेन मृत्युंजय रे अपन कंक्लूजन करंतु
कर दो कंक्लूड
हां कर दो
देखो
संग्राम भाई अपन
करंतु मृत्युंजय करंतु
अच्छा
तो तुम्हारी ज्ञान भाई के भी करंतु
नहीं मृत्युंजय करते
मु तो कहनी केबे अच्छा अच्छा वर्तमान हमर राष्ट्रीय बौद्धिक मंच तरफ रु मिस्टर देव प्रसाद महांती की
देवरंजन महांती
हां बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आ जो जिनस गुडा कहले सेगुडा को एक्चुअली कोन कर आमे सब अलर्ट रहबा दरकार प्लस हमर सेटा फ्यूचर भी काम आसीबो प्लस ए जिनस को आमे अन्य हमर जो सर्कल अछि सेत्री भी आमे स्प्रेड करि परिबा माने आमे तो सब नॉलेज गेन करनु जति भी नॉलेज गेन करछु सेटा ये स्प्रेड करबा आ प्लस तापस बाबू जेना बाबू संग्राम बाबू समतु धन्यवाद दउची साथरे शैलेंद्र बाबू माने आउ जन ना न कहि परछु सुकुर मंत्र समतु धन्यवाद दउची समस्त कोऑपरेट करछंती प्लस आ जोटा मोर एक्सपेक्टेशन नथिला जतो फर्स्ट डे रे संग्राम जो तापस मते प्रथम दिन रे कहितले कले एमती गोटा करियो हम कले केमती करबा समस्त घरे बसचंती केमती करबा एटा पॉसिबल तापस सब कले हम ट्राई करछि देखो मु कले देखो मु अपोज करूनी किंतु मोर कॉन्फिडेंस जीरो अछि माने डे 1 रे कहउतली किंतु आज धीरे धीरे मोर कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत बिल्ड होछि मु एक्सपेक्ट करि परनी जे आमे धीरे धीरे ग्रोथ करूछे तेनु भगवान करंतु आमे सब दिन एमती ग्रोथ करंतु हमर नंबर ऑफ पर्सन्स बढ़ंतु बड़ बड़ इंटेलेक्चुअल आसंतु आमे किछि तांकर सिखि प्लस आमे करबा से कहि करी मु
अच्छा खाली गोटे जिनस रही गला संग्राम भाई हमर जो लक्ष्यटा थिला कि आमे जो टॉपिक का डिस्कशन करचु सेथिरे जदि आमे जे एक्सपर्ट संगे कोऑर्डिनेट करचुंती जे भी हमर भाई माने एक्सपर्ट संगे कोऑर्डिनेट करचुंती 10टा बुलेट पॉइंट तांको पाखरु नै नेबे आगे काहेकि ना परे एटा को नोट करूची किए बा आई डोंट नो आमे 10टा आर समरी आज जो डिस्कशन कलु 2 घंटा आमे तार 10टा पॉइंट्स बुलेट पॉइंट्स व्हाट इज द रिकमेंडेशन व्हाट इज द फाइंडिंग ऑफ दिस 2 आवर्स एटा जदि जने के समराइज करियो ताले
बाबू आपण लाइन रे अछंती ना
ना ना ना
नांदी ना अछंती बोदे
he can listen
पळलेनी
नहीं नहीं से ऑनलाइन अछंती he can listen तो जॉइन करनती माने पैनल रे
आपण गोटे छोटा गोटे रिक्वेस्ट लास्ट रिक्वेस्ट फ्रॉम आवर साइड आम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विषय मुझे आरंभ एक्चुअली मु भाबुतले शैलेंद्र भाई करियो सेट में मु आम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन तो बहुत माने एही टॉपिक रे ही माने आउ सातटा टॉपिक हम अरेंज करछु आपण गोटे छोटो रिक्वेस्ट आरबीएम जो इंटेलेक्चुअल बॉडी अछि हमर एटा एक्चुअली गोटे प्रोसेस ए स्टेप इन द डायरेक्शन कि आमे एटा को आपण जो ओपिनियन ता जहां हम डिस्कशन हला एटा को आमे कंसर्न डिपार्टमेंट मिनिस्ट्री ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और द इवन द मिनिस्टर पाखरे पहुंचवा पेंगा तो आपण गोटे छोटो रिक्वेस्ट आपण जोटा आज हमको करले सेटा जो आपण सेटा टेक्स्टटा भी पठै देबे बट सेटा टिके रिड्यूस करके 10टा पॉइंट जोटा वर्तमान जनवाई कहले 10टा पॉइंट रे हमको हाईलाइट करके भी दे देबे एंड वी विल ऐड आवर पॉइंट्स आल्सो सेटा बनै कि हमें पुन सेटा को पुट अप करिवु तो इट वुड बी रियली काइंड ऑफ यू यदि काइंडली सेटा बनै कि बेशक ये तापस भाई या हमरो सही थरे भी मेल बैक कर देबे किसी असुविधा नहीं हमें तब पुनी असिमुलेट कर देबु आई थिंक मो ऑडिबल आउ देव भाई सुनी पारछोंती हेलो
शैलेंद्र भाई कोऑर्डिनेट करिए नले तांग सारे शैलेंद्र भाई काली
कोऑर्डिनेट कर ठीक अछि इते कहि हम विदाय नबा
कहबो दे
आज्ञा
देव भाई कित कहबे कि देव भाई आसे
हां हां मो
सुनी पारले तो
आज्ञा से जो भाई हमर जो पॉइंट रेज कले सेंटर स्टेट रिलेशनशिप
हां
सेटा गोटे भारी क्रिटिकल पॉइंट ता ऊपर को मु जीवा पर चाहू नथली भाई मते भिडी आनले
हां
कारण दैट प्रॉब्लम विल रिमेन इन अ फेडरल सिस्टम सेटा को केमिति एड्रेस करा जीवो सर्टेन मेकानिजम्स नीड टू बी आ एटा कोविड ता गोटे बहुत बढ़िया अपॉर्चुनिटी देछि टू रीडिफाइन आवर सेंटर एंड स्टेट रिलेशनशिप जदी सेटा
अजय बाबू गोटे मिनिट खाली भी आपण को आज जो टॉपिक थिला इमर्जिंग न्यू वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर आपण जो पेपर ता को आज प्रेजेंट करले आपण जोटा हमको कहिले बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव थिला तो सेटा टोटल टा आपण टिके काइंडली चाहे शैलेंद्र भाई होंतु चाहे तापस भाई होंतु आपण कोऑर्डिनेट करी सेटा मेल कर देबे दे इट वुड बी ग्रेट हेल्प टू अस सेकेंडली हमको जो 10टा पॉइंट आपण बनै दे पारिबे ना बुलेट पॉइंट्स सेटा एक्चुअली ना वी हैव टू पुट इट अप टू द रेस्पेक्टिव ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड द मिनिस्ट्री तो सेटा हेले कोन होबो आपनकर जो एते एफर्ट करिसेंती इट हैज टू गिव अ शेप एंड साइज इन रियल सेंस तो सेति में आपण टिके ताको जे पठे देबे इट विल बी ग्रेट हेल्प टू अस
सेटा मते टिके आगे 2-3 दिन दरकार काहे के ना मु टिके
किछ असुविधा नै
हां टिके केता एटा केता माने 2-3 पेज रे गोटे समरी टाइप रो
पेज रे कर दियंतु किछ
2 पेज रे खाली 10टा पॉइंट देबे 10टा पॉइंट देले
सेटा मु कर देबे सेटा एक्चुअली कोन के आपण एते एफर्ट आ एते मेहनत करचंदी सेटा मु हमें चाहेबु जे आरबीएम तरफरु सेटा आपण एते बढ़िया प्रेजेंट करचिन इट शुड बी देयर एज अ रिकॉर्ड एंड इट शुड गो टू द एप्रोप्रिएट सोर्सेस
हमें मु आगे सेटा कर देबे
ठीक अछि
फाइंडिंग एंड रिकमेंडरी फाइंडिंग एंड
बहुत बढ़िया लागला समस्त को नमस्कार फॉर द पेशेंस
थैंक यू सो मच
हमर देखाव नेक्स्ट
थैंक यू
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद
again thanks to all of you for giving me this opportunity also I hope I have made some sense then we will take it forward
certainly
thank you
welcome always thank you
good night sir
thank you so very much
bye bye good night
good night
good night sir